Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
There she is. Dankeschön.
Go ahead.
Dankeschön. This is the VegasTourist.com podcast. I'm Mark Anthony.
And I'm Daddy Anthony.
That would be my wife. How you doing, babe?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, this is episode 209. We've made it. We've made nine podcasts in 3 months.
Let's see if we can hit double digits before the end of the month.
Of course, when you heard that music, you knew that it was Carl Safe Sax Ferris bringing us into another exciting podcast. Yeah. We got to play tourist.
We did.
We did. Now, it's kind of funny because when, that's one of the reasons that I love having you on this podcast is because you are my tourist, because you're new to a lot of this stuff, even though you've lived here for 30 years.
Yes, and I make a fun tourist, don't I?
Yes, you do. You do. It's interesting how our perception of Las Vegas, when you live here for as long as we have, gets jaded, especially when you work down on the Strip and you work with the celebrities and you work with the tourists and you work with that environment.
Right.
Okay. And one of the things that I like to do when I go out on tour is to talk to my guests and, what brought them to Vegas and what they see and do and all that. And it's really funny because when I ask them the question, when someone says Las Vegas, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And I'm expecting, Celine Dion or, whatever. Well, I get that, but more times than not, you get the mob.
Right. I could see that.
Bugsy Siegel, the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Caesar's Palace, and then Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
And
eventually they come around to him.
Well, it's just he's that connection to that era of Las Vegas that we no longer have.
Yeah.
He's that.
The only living part left of it.
Yeah. Yes. Everything else is in books, photos, and museums.
Right.
And people tend to make fun of that, including me.
You used to.
I
don't
used
believe
to.
You will again.
No, that's
not
why.
After our trip.
That's why I'm saying, folks, do not tune out. Okay. We made a pilgrimage to Graceland West, or as the USA Today calls it, the Smithsonian of Las Vegas.
Yep.
And where is that, my lovely sweet wife?
Sunset and Pecos.
Is that the name of the place?
Casa de Shenandoah.
And that means what?
Oh, you're going to test me.
Peace?
Peace and love or happiness or what
yes.
was it? It's something.
Yes. And I will...
place of peace?
Place of peace, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
something like that.
And that's what this podcast is on. And for those of you that are going, oh, God, he's going to talk about Wayne Newton. Okay, tune to...
Oh, please don't.
As I said, I'm a convert, okay? I am one of those people that through the years of this show, I've made fun of Wayne Newton. Just like every other entertainer has in Vegas and every other comedian has, we all kind of do that.
And now you're eating crow.
Now I'm eating crow because when you go through this tour, you understand his connection to Vegas, to the world of entertainment, and just America.
It was an eye-opener. As a tourist, for me, not knowing a whole lot because I'm not, in your industry, I got to meet him, without meeting him, but you got to really get to know him, and I was so impressed.
This is number 15 on the top 15 top things to do in Las Vegas on TripAdvisor, and it's only been open since September. So this is one of those places that I don't care how you think, what you think of the man, and this is brought up on the tour, the perception versus reality.
True.
Because I also used to live like 2 miles from his house, and even the residents in the area kind of made some wisecracks about,
Well, it was because it was so closed off, so he was so secretive, you didn't know a lot about him.
Well, that, and he's been here
since he was 14.
Yes, since the 1950s. He matured with Vegas, and so he's really one of the only living links we have to that era of entertainment.
Yep.
And, so it's that, he's old school, he's old Vegas, so.
And still here.
And I got to say, I mean, your perception of Wayne Newton and the reality of Wayne Newton is completely different.
Yep. You go in with one view, you'll come out with a completely different view.
Yes. And you understand him a whole lot more, and you respect him a whole lot more.
Yeah. I think anybody who goes in there will learn more things about him that you had no idea about.
Now, this is number 15 on TripAdvisor top things to do in Vegas. Still is number 15.
Okay.
And it's only been open since September. So,
wow.
All right. They have 4 different tours. Okay. So when you do this, because I know that you're going to want to do it, because this is now going to be on my must go see list. It's just, I mean, seriously.
We gave it a 5-star.
Oh my God. It's just, it's funny because I didn't go in with that attitude. I did not go in with that attitude.
I didn't know what to go in with. It just.
And that's why I like having you on here, because you are that neutral tourist. You live here, but you're a tourist.
All I knew, as long as I've lived here, was that big giant brick wall that went around a whole block. That's it.
And there were some horses back there.
There was something back there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what. I just knew because of the corner on the outside where it says Casa de Shenandoah, there's some horses on the plaques out there.
Right.
That it had to have horses back there.
Now, if you do the Diamond Tour, which is the top tour, they will actually come and pick you up at either Treasure Island or the Tropicana. But if you take any of the other tours, you got to find your own transportation out there, which is Sunset and Pecos, which is on your way to Ethel M. Chocolates.
Oh. Well, since you're going to do one, you
might
as well do the other.
Might as well. You're right in the neighborhood there. And see, again, I mean, when I used to do the Hoover Dam tour that had the Ethel M. Chocolates, we'd come down Sunset, and everyone wanted to know where he lived, and there it is. And the joke about his neighbor being Mike Tyson, and next to Mike Tyson was Gladys Knight. So anyway, when you go there, you don't go to the ranch.
No,
you go across the street.
Yeah.
Don't try to drive into the ranch, because it
won't work.
No, it won't. You go into the gift shop, museum, whatever it is there, and you go in, and this is what started the whole thing. Is they sit you in a nice theater, which alone surprised me.
It was a very nice theater.
Because usually they put you in what looks like a meeting room, and they put up some chairs, and they got a screen, and go watch this video. This was
kind of like a training video when you get hired.
Yeah. No, Wayne Newton puts in a showroom-style theater with really comfortable chairs. And you go over, it's a 13-minute video about him.
Yeah.
And it is him.
Yeah, but it really kind of gets you, he does the video, but he really opens himself up to who he is and gets you prepared for what you're going to see.
And he starts out with, the fact that his mom moved the family from the East Coast to Phoenix when he was 4 years old because of his
asthma
that he didn't know that he had.
Well, he knew. He was very sick.
Yeah.
Just my history alone, back east, the humidity back east is really bad for children with asthma. So I'm sure the parents knew that they had to move him into a drier climate because bronchial asthma can kill children in that kind of a climate. So, but he mentioned it in his movie. And he mentioned that his mom had to sacrifice and sell some of her prized possessions to help take care of him because he was so sick.
And it was in Phoenix that he realized is when he came face to face with racism and prejudice, because he is quarter Cherokee and quarter Potawatomi.
Yeah, you say that one. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go with anywhere near
And,
that.
and once you understand that, because that's where he starts to fight that.
Now, wasn't that the Indian tribe that also is Pocahontas?
Yes. Pocahontas is in his bloodline, but it was in Phoenix where he started to work with the Indians, the Native Americans, the schools there, and he started to realize what the prejudices were, and this carries through basically his whole life of helping people, and being that.
Well, he accepted his part of his heritage, and he really reached out to the people who he related with, and what they were going through.
And then he starts to do shows with his brother.
Yes. Still don't know what happened to the brother. Did you look that up and find out what happened with the brothers?
No.
He's got to be somewhere because he gave him a car.
Yeah, well,
so he is somewhere.
Gave him a Rolls Royce.
He gave his brother a car, not just a Pinto, but a Rolls Royce.
And then, as pretty much the whole world knows, in 1959 he arrives here in Vegas. He's at the Fremont downtown. The mob brings them in here. He's 14 years old. He can't be in the casino, but he's doing 6 shows, 6 days a week.
Oh, that was funny what he mentioned in his movie, that his contract literally said he was an employee of the casino but could not be on the property.
Yeah. He
goes, I'm still trying to figure that one out.
It was his work card.
It's work card. That's what it was.
You have a work card to work in the casino, but you cannot be in the casino.
Yeah. You can entertain there, but you can't be in there.
Yeah. And then the doors start to open. He meets Jackie Gleason.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie Gleason, and that was a complete accident.
And I get the impression that they all kind of, they were all chomping at the bit once they got to know who he was, because he was just so talented.
Yeah. What is it, 15, 16 instruments?
12 instruments, but you know how some people are tone deaf?
Yeah.
He's at the opposite end of the spectrum.
The Doublemint gum commercial drives him nuts.
He realized he hears things so in tune that commercials on TV are like nails on chalkboard to him, because he hears things.
Well, so you go through this 13-minute video, and some of the important people that are still alive in his career talk about basically that.
What they know about him.
You just meet this wonderful kid that can play all these instruments, and and he's just really cool to be with. Okay, and he'll give you the shirt off of his back if you ask. Okay, the guy's done 30,000 shows in Vegas.
That's something.
Alone. 30,000.
You should get some kind of award for the most shows in Vegas.
Celine Dion's got a lot of catching up to do. She cannot call in sick for the next 50 years, okay?
At least.
It's one of those things that if you don't believe in karma, I guess is the best way to explain it, because, he would do a favor, a door would open, then he took advantage of the opportunities that were given to him, and that's one of the things you come away with. The guy has been in Vegas for 60 years, and he's still above ground and not wearing cement shoes.
And something that really kind of I took away with me was he really is just a nice guy. He just seems very nice.
He's a patriot.
Well, yeah, he's for our troops, but he wants to help people. He's a great humanitarian.
Yes.
But
believes in
loves in animals. Anybody who loves animals is okay in my book.
So the basic tour is called the Gold Tour, and you go. All of them start in the theater. Okay, and then they put you in a van to go basically 50 feet
across the street.
Across the street.
We're just safely getting you across the street.
Which on Sunset takes some skill sometimes. You go into the museum, which is a self-guided deal. You see Wayne's private jet.
You get do they get to go in the jet?
Yes.
Like we got to go in the jet?
Yep.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. A Faulkner was a Fokker F-12.
Yeah. And the story is really funny. How he parked it in one place, but then the FAA made rules where he couldn't fly it again, and he wants to bring it home, so he literally had to take it apart and bring it home and put it back together to keep it.
Well, it's funny because I tell the story, and it's on my website. I will hopefully find the link to it because I was going to work one morning, and all of a sudden I saw the tail of a jet behind the wall, and it's
we have a new airport.
Yeah, it's like it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just sitting there going, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was really funny because I posted it on my website, and then all of a sudden it shows up on everyone else's site. So we got to sit in the cockpit.
We got pictures of us sitting in the cockpit.
Yes.
Yep.
And they have videos all along the way where Wayne explains the stories behind what
and the stuff that's in the cabinets and where he was in that point in his life, and there was a lot of really good stories in there, and really some really kind of sad stories, but a lot of the stuff with the soldiers and the things that he's went through with the military and the stories that has touched his life that really kind of got to me. But and then, some happy, some sad, some really funny. And
then also in there you get to see Wayne's private car collection, luxury vehicles previously owned by Johnny Cash, Steve McQueen, and Liberace, amongst other people. Mm-hmm.
Which one was it? Was it the Mercedes convertible that's the only one left in existence?
There's two of them. The other one is in an actual museum.
Yeah, okay.
And then the Rolls Royce is a aluminum-bodied Rolls Royce.
That's crazy. I'd be afraid to drive a car made out of aluminum.
And then he also has the last U.S.-made Hummer, the last one to come off the American assembly line.
Yep, before they moved them.
And then also your favorite item.
Yes. They had the bench from Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
Yes, I love that movie. It's my favorite movie.
And also...
In a few articles, he had the boat from On Golden Pond there, the original boat from the movie.
And then you go into the area where he basically talks about the beginning of his career. Jackie Gleason.
Yeah. What he went through, who he's met.
Yep. The fact that Lucille Ball put him onto the right track.
Saved him from making a bad career choice.
Yep. It's like, okay, you were about to make something that you
Please don't do that.
Yes. And it's one of those things that it looked really, really good from his position.
Yeah, on paper it looks great.
Because it's television, it's CBS, it's backed by the Desilu Studios. I'm going to go places with this. And then Lucille Ball goes, do not sign on that dotted line.
You don't want to do that, yeah. And we don't want to give the whole thing away. But
and then one of the things you see throughout are the gifts that people have given to him, not because of it's Wayne Newton, it's because of how he impacted their lives.
Yes.
From the military to Jackie Gleason's widow.
To the president.
To the president.
Reagan and Nancy Reagan.
To the people who have sold him Arabians.
Yeah.
Some
of the things, just the soldier, the POW who gave him the cup that he had ate out of for like the 7 years he was a POW in Vietnam.
Yeah,
that was very touching.
They do have a museum-only tour where you go to just the museum, but
why would you do that?
Really?
Why would you do that when you get so much more?
Because then on the Golden Tour you go and see the champion Arabian horses. Mm. Now they didn't have the swimming pool open yet, but that's coming once the weather starts to get better. But on that, they will bring the Arabians out and they put them into an exercise pool, and you get to see the Arabians. Mm-hmm. And the Arabians are absolutely beautiful. Over 600, he has foaled over 600
That's crazy.
Arabians there.
And they're so friendly. The horses themselves, they peek their heads out of their stalls and they talk to you, and you're not allowed to touch them.
I can speak from when Wayne was recently at his worst with the financial and the IRS and all, and the media was just giving him really bad PR. We were covering the Arabian World Congress, or the big World Arabian Show at the South Point, where you had kings and princesses from Saudi Arabia come over here, and when Wayne walked into the room, everybody stood up and paid homage to him.
So he's not just an entertainer; he's
right.
known for multiple things.
When you're when you're on the tour and you're in the Arabian horses, they kind of give you that background on just how important he is, or his horses are, to the world of Arabians. Mm-hmm. So he's just not a guy that just bought a couple of Arabians to go, Okay.
I want a horse.
Yeah.
Let's buy a horse.
I want that one right there. Okay.
And you know what? The horses are really happy.
They are.
When you take the bus around, 2 of them were running in one field, just romping around, and in another field, one of the white ones with a brown one, and the white one was literally rolling around in the grass.
He was just having a blast out there.
Having a great time. I mean, you could just tell they're happy animals.
And then, also on the Basic Gold Tour, you see the exotic animal exhibit.
One of my favorites.
That's the one we had to pull you out of.
Yes, because the monkey liked me.
Boo. Boo the monkey.
He talked to me, and it's really cute that when the monkey talks to you, they literally said he goes home with the wife at nighttime, with Wayne Newton's wife, and if he likes you, he will talk to you. And he didn't talk to anybody, but he started to talk to me.
But he talked to you, right?
And when he starts to talk, it sounds like a squeaky singing. So it was like he was singing to you, and I was hooked. I want one.
Did we see Charlie the penguin?
Yes, the penguin. She
jumped.
She jumped in the cage and got the penguins to come out and dance around.
That's right. The 2 wallabies. What the heck were they named? Oh God.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm taking pictures. I don't remember their names.
And his exotic birds.
The birds were cool. The 2 great big ones with the funky Don King hairdos.
Yeah.
Those were really funny looking birds. But,
plus, he's got.
he just added poi fish. He's got his first ones. They're supposed to live up to 100 years.
Then he's got the penguin, or the. Great, my mind just went blank. The peacocks.
The peacocks.
They're all over.
Yes. And one of them actually got a little frisky and opened up. I'd never seen a peacock open before.
He has an albino peacock.
Yes, she was really pretty, but
the
peacocks are everywhere.
And he didn't buy them.
No, they came with the property. That just floored you. He figured.
Okay, you got to buy my land, but if you buy my land, you're taking those peacocks with them. Okay.
And he literally says in his video, they came with the land, and I just decided to let them stay.
And God, are they fun to watch?
And they call constantly, so you hear them all over the land calling, and the big white swans in the water and the ducks. There's just wildlife. There's wildlife all over. Now
the Gold Tour is approximately 2 hours long. Give yourself 2 hours. Definitely give yourself 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay. And and again, they got the videos all over, which explains, Wayne doesn't just say, "Here's my plane." He goes into the, this is the aircraft that took my family and my group to here, or
he gives you the whole story.
He gets very, very personal in the stories, and and there's a couple of times he did tear up. So,
and the guide women, the women that were in the museum, will actually give you stories about the stuff that's in the museum too. Give you little tidbits that you wouldn't know otherwise.
Right.
So that was very good too.
Like with the Elvis Presley note.
Well, that and the jackets, the different flight jackets he got from different people.
He's a helicopter pilot.
Didn't know that.
I'm like, really?
Yeah. And
doesn't fly a plane, but he flies a helicopter. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
The next step up is the Platinum Tour. This one, give yourself 3 hours for, okay? It includes everything that we just talked about, and then it includes the Newton Mansion.
The mansion.
Now, the mansion they started to build that in I think it was in 1968 he bought the land, and then in 1970 he started to build the mansion.
Yeah, because the initial property that he first lived in came with the property.
Right,
so
right.
then he started building the other house.
And, of course, if you've seen National Lampoon Vegas Vacation, you've seen the house. And that's scene, other than the bus crashing into the front door, that entire scene was filmed
In the mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mansion is not as large as I thought.
I was surprised. It's gorgeous, but it's smaller than I expected it to be. It's very homey, actually.
It is. It's very comfortable.
It has a comfy, homey feel to it.
Although it's got some grand furniture and stuff,
Yeah, but you still, when you walked into that living room right through the front doors, I mean, if the railing wasn't up, you feel like you could just jump off and land on the couches and grab the remote, Yeah.
The Newton Mansion includes the downtown.
The downtown what?
Yep. The downstairs foyer, formal dining room, billiards room, and features Louis XV and Louis XVI Roxas-like antique furniture. The formal dining room is like it's almost out of something you
it was like
saw
16th century something. Yeah,
like in what was it, Abbey.
Downton Abbey?
Downton Abbey. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
But then you look at that ceiling and you just went, oh my God. It was just, and
it's something you got to see.
Yeah.
You just got to see it.
And one of the things that impressed me with Wayne, Mr. Newton, as they all called him,
yes,
is he is one of those guys that studies. He constantly studied other professionals in other fields. Like the artist that did all of the clown work, okay, and the paintings on the wall.
The big eyes.
Yeah.
The big eyes. He has a whole collection of the big eyes.
And he tries to learn from each principle or each discipline. And then you go into his office, otherwise known as the Red Room, and you see these gifts from people from all walks of life.
Yeah, they were just everywhere.
Yeah, it's just not celebrities. It's just, and the things that they wrote on them and, gave them and all that. It's just.
And he's a collector. He appreciates the gifts
Yes.
more than anything that's worth. He could give him some. He could go out and spend $1 million on something, and somebody who gave him a cup is more valuable to him. He seems to really value the things his friends have given him and the things that somebody thought enough of him to give him something. He really treasures those items.
Right. And he's always stayed true to his Native American roots, and he's got a lot of that.
Yeah, you see a lot of the horses and the Native American stuff around.
And so, you're seeing that personal.
It's very eclectic, actually.
The
whole house, the way it's put together.
Yeah, there's
very. It's not like this is English royalty or this is set up.
No, he liked Native American art, so it's all.
Nope.
No, it's not. It's just.
Nope. It's very eclectic. It's just a hosh posh of his personality.
And just like I said, the house is very livable. You have that. It's not that large, and it's just.
No, the kitchen's nice. I like the kitchen. I love the walk-in refrigerator freezer thing.
And then outside you had peacocks.
Peacocks everywhere.
Watching you.
They come right up to the doors, and they can hear your voice in the house, and they rub up against the sliding glass doors and call to you. So, I don't know. I'd like that sometimes, and then I'm thinking sometimes that might get on your last nerve. I'd be somebody shut that bird up. I need some sleep.
Especially if you've been on the road touring for 6 weeks, or been, doing the USO tour for 6 months. You're just like,
Well, maybe to him that was, very relaxing. You come home and you open your window and you hear those birds calling. That might be very, very peaceful, by like listening to the ocean. He might.
That and all of the jets going overhead.
The jets overhead and the peacocks might be a bit much.
One of the cool things about it is when you're sitting there anywhere on that property, you did not see Vegas.
No. You really felt like you were on
it's
a
a very
ranch
open
out
52 acres.
in Missouri or Minnesota or something. You're just off, and it's a private utopia.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been to Graceland, and everything grew up around Graceland, so it's kind of compact. Where this is, although he owned all of the land around it, and it grew up around it, but you still have that openness to it. You just have that.
Well, he walled it in, and this is my area, and nobody's coming in.
This is my sanctuary. Jesus.
And it really is. I mean, I was standing on the back porch of the home and just sitting there. And if you close your eyes, you can hear the peacocks calling. You can hear the horses whinnying in the barn. You hear the rustling of the trees. It's just, I can imagine living there.
Yeah.
You'd forget that you just did 4 shows straight last night
right.
in Las Vegas. You could come home and forget that Vegas was even in the area.
Yeah. And and again, when you go through it, you see that other side of Wayne that the rest of the world doesn't see. The humanitarian side of him, the patriot side of him.
Oh, he was a very, very big patriot.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, that's true. He is. I didn't know he took over for Bob Hope for the USO when Bob Hope retired.
Got to say the joke.
You're going to tell the joke. You can't tell the joke.
Okay,
it's on the tour. You got to let them experience for themselves.
It's truly a Bob Hope.
There's a few in there. Frank Sinatra does a really
Oh,
funny
my God.
joke in there. Bob Hope does a really funny joke in the stories.
Things that you look at and going, he didn't say that, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
We're not going to give.
And he
those
said
away.
it to Wayne Newton.
Yes, but we can't give.
He
those.
said that. Yep.
If you want to know what those jokes are,
Take
you're
the
going
tour.
to have to take the tour. But it's
Now,
well worth it.
If you want to go to the next step up, which is the Diamond Tour, which you got to give yourself about 3.5 hours for. Diamond Tour has access to the Aramis Arabian barns and horse facilities, and the mansion's most private and personal quarters, which we did not do.
No, we didn't get to get in there.
And then finally, it has.
But we did. I talked to a couple that was on the bus with us going
Yes.
back, and they said they got to get a photo with one of the horses. They had their
Ooh.
They had their photos taken with the horse.
And you didn't tell the bus driver to stop? And
I considered it, but I
have-
had already gotten scolded once for
Yes.
trying to touch so I was already in
Yes.
trouble, so I was good.
Then on the Diamond Tour, you get to visit the first Newton family home.
Oh, that's in the Diamond Tour? So
Yes.
we got to do that.
Yes. And the moment you walk in those doors, you know exactly what era that house was built in.
Yep, without a doubt.
You look on the kitchen counter and you go, I had one of those.
My mom had one of those.
Sorry, yeah. But,
My
yeah,
parents owned one of those in that exact same color.
It's like, wow, I remember that. Yeah.
There's an awful lot of antiques in that home.
Yeah.
Where you don't see that in the big mansion. So you see an awful lot of antiques and stuff in the...
And we were talking with our guide, and they wanted this ranch to be preserved. They want it to be it somewhat qualifies for a historical landmark, other than the fact that they don't know how to categorize a landmark for a legend who is still alive and still productive.
That was a fun conversation.
Yeah, it's like
we don't have. They don't have a category for him.
they're all dead except for this one. Okay, then we start a new one. Come on.
And they can't really the initial home. What was she saying? They can't make it a historical monument, but because of him being
who he is,
yeah,
and
they can do it.
Yeah, because of what he has done, both culturally and
in multiple facets.
Yeah.
We can tag him as a historical monument, but he's still breathing.
Yeah. And there is a final tour that they offer if all you want to do is go to the museum. Sorry, the gift shop and movie, and you can do the mansion.
Oh, just a quick and dirty.
Yeah, if you just have like an hour, you can either do just the museum or just the mansion. But it's like,
why would you?
yeah, come on, you're a tourist. go for the extra one. And as a Nevada resident, you do get a discount. Also, discounts are available for senior, military, Clark County residents, Nevada locals, children, and groups.
My final word is I would recommend anybody go check it out once.
It is, yeah. I mean,
it taught me a lot. I've always known who Wayne Newton was, but I always knew him from Shane,
yes.
and some of the older shows that I'd seen him guest star on, that kind of stuff. But I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, so, you do the museum, you do the whole ranch tour, and
you get to know him.
Yeah. The people that he's helped, the groups that he's helped, the projects that he has led on, what motivates him. He admits to his errors along the way. He's human. He's been in Vegas for 60 years. Okay.
He tells you his stories. He tells you who he's met. He tells you what has happened to him. The good, the bad, the ugly. You get to meet him. You get to know who it's like almost sitting down and having a conversation with him.
Yeah.
You get to know who he is a little bit.
And it's really cool when you see somebody that's at that level of celebrity stardom to look at you, and go, I got to meet Jackie Gleason.
Right.
Starry-eyed and everything. You're seeing this guy who is at the pinnacle.
And he's patting me on the head, telling me, I got to have you on my show.
Yeah. Bobby Darin gave him Shane.
Gave it to him, yeah.
And told his producers, I'm not going to do it. He's going to do it.
Yeah, I want the song, but I'm not doing it. He's doing it. If you don't like it, I won't buy any more of your song. I won't use any more of your music.
Yeah. Just, again, those doors that opened up, and he stepped in it, and he did it.
Yeah.
And then he moved on. But again, it's that whole other side that we don't see of somebody like him. And also just the fact that he is that connection to Vegas's old history.
Yes.
He's our,
been there
he's our connection to Sinatra and Liberace and Elvis.
And the mob.
Currently, we haven't seen it yet, is his show at Bally's, which is where he basically tells stories. Which
we need to go check that out.
Which again, on this tour, you see where these stories came from because he gives you his life story.
And the fact that he played 12 instruments but cannot read music.
Yes.
He learned to read music by numbers because it made more sense to him.
Well, again, that's on the tour. So
yeah,
there's an interesting story on why he can't read music.
Yeah, he gives the whole story
notes.
how he learned to read music and his own way and what made sense to him. But
then he talks about his movie career, and he goes, "God, the one that I really love is the one nobody knows I did."
Yeah, they don't even know I'm in it.
Yeah, and then you're going, "He was in that movie, wasn't he?" Wow, I forgot all about that. And, and he gets to play a bad guy. So that is Casa de Shenandoah.
Shenandoah, yeah.
Shenandoah. And folks, if you're looking for something to do, it's just this will blow your complete perception on Wayne Newton, Vegas entertainment, and just probably the history of Vegas entertainment.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
You concur.
I do.
All right.
Concur.
So we're trying to work out a chance to interview either Wayne himself, which would be really, really cool. I got a bunch of questions I want to ask him. Oh my God, really good, really cool. I just
want to get with him and talk about animals. He'd let me hang out and just wait for animals to do what I wanted them to do, so I can take pictures.
Yeah.
I know he would. I can just know because he's an animal lover. I got that impression all throughout the whole thing.
So we will have the links on the show notes at www.thevegastours.com. Thank you, sweetheart. I am so glad.
Was you waiting for me on that one? Oops. I was drinking my water. I'm sorry. Where am I? Who am I?
Who am I married to? You got some kick-ass photos. We'll have those up on the website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just downloaded them to the computer today.
Very good. So when you go there, tell them Mark and Debbie from the Vegas Tourist sent you. Not that you'll get a discount or anything, but, it just prods them a little bit more on our side. So.
Oh, and they know we're doing our job to help out.
That's right.
We did say we would.
It is fun. It's a fun look at that part of Vegas history. And
we don't usually push something we don't enjoy ourselves. We'll tell you if we didn't like it. We tell you we don't like it.
And
if it was $15, okay, if you want to spend $15, go and do it. This one here, even if it was more money, I would still say go and check it out. It's so worth it.
The Gold Tour is $35, the Platinum Tour is $59, and the Diamond Tour is $95.
Well, I would do the top one just because I want my picture done with a horse.
And most of it is self-guided, but there are docents all around there that.
Yeah, they really help. They help guide you through. They help start videos for you. They answer questions for you. They give you little stories and tidbits of information throughout the whole thing that kind of just helps add to the whole experience.
So again, for anyone that has listened to this podcast for the last 6 years, I am actually recommending Wayne Newton.
Yeah, he's eating crow right now.
So if you're wondering why we have all of this rain and frozen ice all over the world, it's because Mark Anthony has reversed his thoughts and will probably never, ever, ever say a bad word about Mr. Wayne Newton ever again.
Nope. Nope. He's eating crow. I've been watching him.
I have so much respect for the man. You walk away from that going, this guy's cool.
Yeah. And you were so very wrong.
You could hang with him.
You really could. He feels like just the guy next door. And I would love to meet him myself just to hear some of his stories. I'd like to hear the stories of old Vegas. And can you imagine the things that he's seen and the stories he would know? He owned the Aladdin. Just imagine just the stories he has of what's went on in and out of that building alone.
That's why I'd love to go see his show at Bally's. I think that would be fascinating. I don't know how long it's going to run, but I'm just, wow, yeah.
Well, we might have to put that on the calendar.
We will. As always, you can find us at thevegastourist.com. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Check the website for all of the links. Please comment on this podcast. Tell us what you liked. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave it in the comment section. We will get back to you. Any parting words, my dear, sweet, lovable wife?
Go. See it. Get pictures of the peacock for me because he wouldn't turn around for me.
Yeah. Do it before she gets arrested. We are out of here. Catch you all next time. Thank you. Good night. Goodbye.
Adios. Sayonara.
Sayonara. Okay. All right. Casa de Shenandoah. Check out the show notes. Bye.
Bye.
It's getting dark.